President and CEO of the Dodgers, Stan Kasten, is here with us. Stan, great to see you. Great to have you on, and congrats on the team making it to this point. How's the week been?
It's been great. No pressure of ball games every night. We got 4 days to just bask in the glow of winning a pennant and not worrying about scores for a few days. I got one more night like that before it gets bad again.
We talk about Shohei. Should he pitch? So, you should be the poster child for it is really hard to win a World Series. I've been to a billion of them. How much should a team like the Dodgers push all in? Should Shohei pitch? How much should other teams push all in because it's so hard to win it?
Well, Shohei can't pitch. He's not ready to pitch. That's a long recovery, and no matter how many of us want it, we would never do that to someone who's just not ready. But I think every team pushes all in their way every year. We all want to get here. Those of us who make it to the playoffs have had a good record over 162 games. And then a lot of that doesn't matter anymore because you've got to succeed in either 3, 5, or a 7-game series. And how many things can go wrong no matter what kind of planning you do. So, yeah, I appreciate it is hard. I know a lot of people in this sport who've never won at all. So just getting to the World Series is a tremendous accomplishment in my mind, and winning too is indescribable.
I want to talk a little bit about the best player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, this guy has been absolutely incredible. We needed him in the postseason. We needed him in October. How integral of a part has he played not only for the Dodgers but in baseball in general?
You can identify people in other sports, basketball. You know who the stars are and you want to see them, and they can have a tremendous impact on the team. Baseball's not that way. Baseball, it takes 26 people, awful lot of coaches, and an awful lot of minor leaguers to get through a season and to win up here. But Shohei is that rare person who moves the needle all by himself, not just on the field, but also off the field. Job one is always going to be, no matter what we spent, it was always for job one, which is helping us win on the field. He has been extraordinary. As I've been saying all week, we know what the body of a 50 home run hitter looks like. We know what the body of a 50 stolen base guy looks like. Those are not the same body, okay? They don't make humans like that does that. Oh, and by the way, he pitches also, okay? So he is unique, to put it mildly. What has been great is after the opening stuff in Korea, once we got through that and the wall came down, we realized what a great guy he is, how great he is in the locker room, how great he is around fans, how great he is with the media. We really didn't know all of that before, but he has been just as good as he can be. When he goes through a slump like all players do, he works harder and gets out of it because that's who he is. If he has a couple of strikeouts early in a game, better beware because he's going to come back and get you late in the game. So everything stops when he comes to the plate. Very few players are like that. Aaron Judge may be one like that. But there are very few in baseball that do that command that kind of attention, that have that kind of presence. Shohei's one of them, one of the very few, and we're really proud to have him here.
How much was that pursuit? How much input and excitement was that pursuit in the front office for you guys when you were involved in those meetings?
Well, I will tell you, we had been planning for years. We knew the opportunity might be there, and so there was an impact on our roster. There was an impact on our finances, but we were planning to take our best shot at it. And I thought we had a lot of built-in advantages. We are Los Angeles. It's a great, great market. We have the great climate. It was close to a part of the world he was familiar with. And we had this record of going to the postseason every year. So we checked a lot of boxes, but that didn't make it automatic. When he came in here, he talked about his vision of how he liked to play baseball, what he liked to see. We tried to talk to him about who we were, how much effort we put into everything, into focusing on getting 27 outs every night and taking them one out at a time, and focusing on breaking down every batter and helping him to be the best he can be, getting all the technology and equipment and trainers and staff in place to win. And still, we didn't know we were going to get him. We were, like all of you, following that stupid airplane to Toronto on that Friday. I swear, we had no idea. We were following it on Twitter just like everyone else. The agent was telling us, don't worry, he's not on that plane. Come on. I'm not telling you I will always believe what an agent tells me. In this case, Nesbalello was completely truthful. But yeah, that Friday was kind of a bad day as we're following the airplane. But when we finally got the word, we knew this was a deal we could make work and that it would pay off for all of us. And boy, it really has.
It really has. But you mentioned the fact that this has been years in the making. Like, you knew this player, you followed this player, you were making a plan. I got kind of roasted on this show a while back because I said the Dodgers kind of were in a rebuild last year. As much as the Dodgers will ever go under a rebuild, it seemed like you guys were making sure that you had enough to make sure you could push for Shohei. Is there any shred of truth to that?
I think rebuild, Eric, is too strong. Okay.
Right. Okay.
We saved where we could save. We were strategizing rosters. But remember, we first met Shohei 7 years ago when he came over here, and we made our pitch then. And every year, right now, I can tell you what I think we're going to need in 3 years. Will we be ready to take advantage of it? But it doesn't always work out. This was a case where he was such an obvious talent and an obvious draw that we said we have to do all we can. But did we maybe save a corner thing here or there last year? Maybe. But I got to tell you, even though we went out in the first round to a damn good Padres team, we weren't rebuilding. We were trying last year too. I promise, we really were.
Yeah, no, not saying you weren't trying. Just difference. It's if the Dodgers ever get close to a rebuild, that's the closest they'll ever get.
Right, so. Reload.
We're the Dodgers. We're supposed to contend every year at a minimum. That's what our fans expect because they've supported us for 60 years and continue to support us. That's what I talked about earlier, the virtuous cycle. We have to continue to invest in our fans. And so I promise we're trying our hardest every year, but sometimes injuries are just too much to overcome.
No doubt. Now, you're talking about him physically on the field, even physically, like he can run, he can hit, he can pitch, all that stuff. There's a tweet that came out. Now, obviously, this isn't exact numbers. It's an estimate that Shohei Ohtani was worth over nearly $75 million in incremental sponsorship revenue from this prior year. Now, obviously, this is not a Dodgers, number that's put out there. Do you feel that as an organization, financially, what he has done? Because you talk about what kind of great person he is and how much you guys want to give back to this Dodgers community. When you hear that number, do you sit there and go, maybe a little high, maybe a little low based on the impact I see?
I'm not ever going to talk about numbers. Let's not be crass. We love the game. Let's talk about the game. However, I will say this. This year we're only paying him out $2 million. I will go ahead and tell you we safely cleared that hurdle. How's that?
That's a good way to put it. Exactly. I love that. Exactly. He's been worth what he's getting paid this year. There's no doubt about that.
No
complaint.
complaint.
That's an easy one.
No complaint.